Alright, how you doing today, guys? This is Go, here with you again. So, if you've seen my second, I believe, to last post, I stated that I would be posting a conversation I had with a professional elite tennis player. And, well, because the conversation was in another language, I translated, I would say, an important question that is tremendously beneficial for elite athletes seeking to reach the next level. So to give you guys some information on this athlete, about this athlete, she is a veteran player who's still currently active and still playing with her international team. And as you can see, before I begin, just to let you guys know that according to ethical guidelines and player safety, you will see some text that is covered on the page, and for her name, I will also be stating the first letter of her initials, which is S. Okay? So, as you can see, I titled this Q&A, Professional Athletes for Tennis. And just a little bit statistics about herself before I say the question. She reached the third round in the US Open UU. She reached the second round in the Wimbledon and Australian Open. And her best ranking was in between the 50th and 60th. So she's been there. She's been around. Like I said, she's currently playing, and yeah. So now the question I asked her, as you can see, is the path to becoming a professional athlete. Is it a type of sprint of 100 meters or a marathon? Now, the reason I asked for this specific question is because I have a lot of athletes mention or state, and this is referring to older athletes, teenagers and adults, that if they don't become pro at a young age, there's no way for them to make it pro or to play in the big leagues, right? And this question, as I mentioned, is a very important question for athletes who are seeking of reaching the next level. That could possibly going semi-pro or pro, or even playing for their international team. Because this veteran athlete, her answers are some key points that many, younger athletes and older athletes should listen to. Okay? So as I said, the question I asked S was, once again, the path to becoming a professional athlete. Is it a type of sprint of 100 meters or a marathon? Okay? And her answer was, it is a marathon. It is a long distance race. It is going slowly, growing, going on, and realizing what you can improve on. If not, you can continue to work on. The support from coaches and people you have around you. But much better, much more in favor of the marathon, a long distance race, than the sprint. Because sometimes the sprint is a very dense, but also everything that goes up very fast also goes down very fast. I am more in favor of going a little bit by a little bit, but that stays constant with time. Okay? So after she answered this question, I asked her regarding the same question. When you were younger, was it like, what over time you will be improving in your skills because there are some things that you need to work on and it will take time, or did you have the direct opportunity? Okay, so in the language that we're speaking, what I was referring to was regarding her stages of development before going pro. I was referring to her two possible scenarios that she could have potentially went through, which is be the best of her age group and have a gateway admission to the pros, or was she not the best in her youth years, but let's say late bloomer, and became a pro after time, after development, right? She answered, my case personally, I was among the best of my age, but I never stood out as the best. However, I have been able to dedicate myself professionally and get many things, and those who were dedicating and who earned everything and who were the best in those categories, so then no, they did not arrive. So I think that work is important, crucial. Okay? So this was her answer, and as you can see in the bottom, I have her, when we're speaking, right, her sports psychologist was there, and now her sports psychologist had something to add to the answer that I previously asked about, which was the marathon or sprint analogy. And he said, more than a marathon, it is an obstacle course, 1,000 obstacles. It is not a marathon. It is not one after the other. There is always going to be obstacles. It is an obstacle course, a long obstacle course, which I believe it was a very great answer to wrap up our conversation. And, after that, we started conversing, but this was a question that I felt that was very beneficial, right? So now, if you all need, reread this question and answer to understand that the path of reaching the next level is a long process, okay? Full of bumps, full of bruises, stops and goes, forward and back, and, etc. But, just keep training, keep working towards your objectives, and learn from, what this veteran tennis player is trying to state in this conversation, okay? All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM or leave a comment. All right, until the next one.